Quechua, Nahuatl.
Sorry, go ahead, Franklin.
Don't worry. And in different countries, there are indigenous languages that are spoken, like Quechua, Nahuatl. Here in Venezuela, we have three different indigenous languages that are spoken in different parts of Venezuela. Guarani is another widely spoken that is in Paraguay and in Ecuador. And it just reflects the deep-rooted indigenous heritage. And for example, in Guatemala, there you will see people if you go to Antigua, Guatemala, or the capital in Ciudad de Guatemala City, you will see many people dressing their indigenous attires. You can see that everyone is like the same, the colors and everything. But if you are curious enough, you are gonna see that the patterns in the colors are different, are very different. What that means is that every different pattern belongs to a different group of indigenous, and they speak their own language in that group of indigenous. So you can see that at first look, everyone looks the same in their indigenous attire, but they are different among themselves. They speak different dialects in indigenous languages, and they belong to different ethnic groups among them. As well, music and dance. For us, music is many things at the same time. It reflects how we live, how we move, how we celebrate our feelings, our celebrations, our more remarkable celebration. Just give me a second because I have the puppy here, and I want to put it out the door. Sorry. So we have different genres styles like salsa, bachata, merengue, reggaeton, tango, and cumbia. And as I was saying, it plays a very important role in our celebrations and festivals. For us, we start with music every day. I remember when I was a little child, maybe my 7, 8 years old, that the first thing that woke us up was the music that mom put in the radio, a small radio in the kitchen, and playing the traditional music from our country. And music is a very essential part of our life in Latin America. And as I was saying, the language is very rich. The language is beautiful, but it's so diverse and so different in every part of Latin America. And I was looking for a video that could reflect a little bit the different accents in Spanish, and listen to this lady. This is a Venezuelan lady that is able to recreate or imitate the different accents in Latin America, even in Spain. You can listen to that and can see the difference. And sometimes for us, even that we speak the same language, it's so difficult to understand each other because it's so different how the Spanish is spoken. So that's for give you just a taste of our accents in Latin America.
Estoy acá con mi prima y ella me va a decir diferentes acentos y yo tengo que cambiar la manera en la que estoy hablando.
Puerto Rico.
Porque yo le digo, Andrea, vamos a salir
Puerto
con el
Rico.
carro y vamos a dar unas vueltas para practicar. Una puede practicar manejar por acá, por las
México.
calles. Güey, de que
México.
yo te presto mi coche, o sea, dábamos 1000 vueltas. O sea, es acción de gracias. Yo siento que es importante como hacer actos de bondad. ¿Sabes lo que te
Argentina.
digo? Yo pienso que aparte hay que estar agradecidos. Hoy es un día para recordar las cosas buenas que tenemos.
Cubano.
O sea,
Cuban.
Mimi, yo te digo, tú tienes que estar agradecido. A veces uno se lo olvida y uno da todo lo que tiene por sentado.
Español.
Y sabes, y andas de mal agradecido
Spain.
y sientes que mereces todo. Pues no, que hay que decir, gracias a Dios yo tengo,
Venezolano.
sabes, todas las cosas que yo
Venezuela.
tengo. Porque o sea, tú no tienes que tener nada al final del día. Tú tienes que valorar cada
Colombiano.
pequeña cosa, parce.
Colombia.
Uno tiene, o sea, yo estoy súper agradecida de que vos estés acá y que podamos compartir este
Chileno.
momento. Y eso es todo
Chileno.
lo que digo, creo que acabamos de acabar. Muchas gracias.
Tiempo.
Let me stop here for a second. Did you understand? This lady, I'm amazed with her. I was looking last night for a video that could recreate a little bit that. And it is amazing. She is able to recreate all these different accents because she has been exposed to to all of them, and she has been able to imitate them. But that's let's say a plain conversation. When we go into the roots or deep in the conversation, sometimes we look at each other and say, what is he talking about? Is he talking Spanish? Or what language is he talking about? The most difficult language or Spanish spoken in Latin America is the Chilean accent. There is nobody, let me tell you, in Latin America that speaks Spanish that can understand Chileans very well at the very first time. It's so hard. And I can say the second one that is very difficult to understand is the Ecuadorian one. The Ecuadorian one is very hard to understand because they speak very fast and they have very guttural sounds. And as well, the Peruvian one. The Peruvian one is, oh gosh, hard to understand. But yes, just to give you just a taste of how different we are and how sometimes we don't understand each other. There was once when I was in Guatemala, when I was in the Catholic Church, doing the novitiate for the religious order that I was at, there was a Cuban guy saying to me, asking me for a fruit. And he was saying to me, give me the fruta bomba. Give me the fruta bomba. And I was looking around, what is a fruta bomba? He assumed that I knew what was a fruta bomba. And I was looking around, and I couldn't find it. Because that fruit in my country is called lechosa. And I couldn't find that. And he was angry at me, mad at me, because the fruit was in front of me and I was looking around and I couldn't find the fruit. So sometimes we have misunderstanding because of the language, and it gets sometimes hard. Let me continue here. Please, any questions so far?
What
No?
about, yeah, one.
Yes.
What about
Yes.
comparing the Spanish in South America to the Spanish in Spain?
Oh, it's different. It's different. It is very different because in Spain there are many dialects as well among the across the Spain, and they use different words. For example, from my country, Venezuela, when I had the opportunity to be in Spain for 2 months when I was studying in Europe, there are words that are in Venezuela that they don't mean the concept. For us, they don't mean the concept that they reflect, you know. And those words have been like daily words that we use for everything. I'm gonna put you an example. Here in my country, it's very usual to say vaina, but vaina in Spain is a bad word. But here in Venezuela, it's a common word that we use every day. And people from Spain sometimes they have this shock with our Latin American culture, because words that for them are bad words, we use them as normal in our countries, and that shock. And even between us, there are words in, for example, I know Brazil is Portuguese, but there is a word in Brazilian that for us means public transportation. You know, it's public transportation, but for them it's a big bad word, big. And when we say that, people look at us like, "What are you say? That's a pretty bad word," and we cannot say that. The word is a buseta. And we say here in Venezuela, buseta. There's a public transportation, the autobus, but we cannot say that in Brazil. It is the same word, but the meaning is different. Like culantro. Culantro in Venezuela is like cilantro, but it's another herb that is from cilantro's family. And we say that culantro, but we cannot say to a Mexican one, "Give me the culantro," because it's gonna be a fight. I assure you, it's gonna be a fight. It's so bad to say culantro in Mexico. So it's things like that. Let me keep going here. I think we're here. And, yes, just give me a second. I'm going to stop here because I want to share with you a little bit of the music as well. So, can you see that?
You what?
Can you see the YouTube screen?
No.
No? Okay, let me then share here. Sorry, I didn't share. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, that's a little bit about music. It's just a taste. I'm gonna just pass it on to
Cada vez que lo veo pasar.
Most people over 40 use
sorry.
ChatGPT like it's
the
Google. Copy, paste, ask
You
a basic
know.
question, move on.
That's
That's
YouTube.
not how
Él llegó diciéndome, no sé qué, que no estoy bien amada. Capturó mi mente y mi corazón.
Sin avisar, vaya qué error.
salsa,
Y una mujer le habló al pasar, le dijo hola, ¿qué tal papá? ¿Cómo te va? Y hallamos sangre.
salsa,
He venido para
salsa, bro,
tu boca, lo
bachata,
Me fui de vacaciones, lejos de los amores, dile al amor. Cayenas tu cintura y
bachata,
siluetas de amor bajo la luna.
vallenato,
dile que deje la paz. Por favor, enriquece el camino.
Mírame de frente y dime que hice que me duele tanto.
Tu boca me fascina, que tu cuerpo me enloquece, que cuando estemos juntos todo el mundo diga, caramba.
Again, that's for give you a taste of the music. And one thing that I found in music, guys, let me tell you, is that the Latin American genres in music are played all over Latin America. So that's one thing that unites us. Bachata, merengue, reggaeton, samba, cumbia, vallenato, merengue, all those kind of genres of music are played in our celebrations and festivals. So we know how to dance among us across Latin America, because all of us know all these genres. It's not that they play just in one country. It has been shared broadly in Latin America, and it's beautiful because in Mexico, we can play a salsa, and people will dance salsa. If we play a cumbia from Mexico, in Venezuela, we know how to dance cumbia down here. So if there is a party, everyone is gonna dance for sure, and every mixed, all of us. Let us continue here. Any questions so far?
Do you have slow
Okay.
dances?
Sorry?
Do you have any slow dances?
Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. If you allow me, just give me a second, and I'm gonna put it the slow version of music. Let's say tango. Let's say tango here. Let me share this with you. But it's an Argentinian music genre of music. It's very famous. It's slow. It's beautiful. I can say that it's very beautiful, and it's like an art. Is to dance tango is like art. This is for a movie. That's tango. Is like an art. Is a very, let's say, sexy dance. You know, is slow, and there are many schools of tango. But if you see like an art, it's just beautiful. The movements all are how do you say that? All of the movements are practiced, are studied. Nobody, I cannot go and dance tango. No, I cannot dance tango. It's hard because you need to have the classes to do it. There are other slow genres of music, like merengue venezolano is very slow beat, you know, and it's just, or vals, Venezuelan vals is very slow. It's like the European vals, but with its variations, and it's very slow to dance as well. Let's continue here.
Estoy acá con mi...
That was the one that we were doing. So other thing that we have is we have a very rich art and literature in our countries. Many painters that are very famous. We have this culture of muralism, like as you can see here. And we have as well many writers, very famous, that I will encourage you, if you can look for them, like Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He won a prize for literature. Jorge Luis Borges as well, and Pablo Neruda for his poems. If you can find a book of these writers, I assure you that you won't regret it. Their books, especially Gabriel Garcia Marquez, is wonderful. He has a novel called Yellow Houses, talking about the yellow fever in Latin America, specifically in Colombia. Is beautiful. The general doesn't have a secretary, something like that. It's another novel from him that is awesome. And the poem from Pablo Neruda are just awesome. Other key element for us is we have people as well like Frida Kahlo in Mexico, that she was a very famous painter. Her husband, I don't remember his name. Frida Kahlo's husband was a very well-known painter. Very good art. Let me tell you, and Botero with his sculptor from Colombia as well is just beautiful. Another thing that we have, and you already have a taste of that, is the cuisine. I mean, Latin American cuisine is just delicious. You have tasted that. You have the witness at first hand, but you have just two of the representation. You have the Mexican, because it's one of the large Latin American culture that we have in North Carolina, and Cuban from Father Medina. The Father Medina, I bet he has shared with you some of his of the Cuban cuisine. It's just beautiful. Kitchen or cuisine for us is one way to unite us in the same let's say in the same feeling as Latin Americans people. The diversity of dishes are incredible, and I can tell you, even though I'm from Venezuela and I love Venezuelan cuisine, for me one of the most delicious cuisines in Latin America is the Peruvian one. It is just out of this world. I love Peruvian food. They have a diverse mix of dishes, and one of the things that enrich Peruvian cuisine is there is this mix between Asian food and Peruvian food, because there are a lot of people from China in Peru, and they have mixed the cuisine, and it's just out of this world. Again, I love Venezuelan food, but Peruvian food for me is the second one to taste. And I love Mexican too, and because I love spicy food, I love spicy, and Mexico has the most wonderful diversity in spices. And in Mexico and in Peru, by the way, there is a dish that I never taste. Let me stop here for a second, because for me it was gross. They eat the guinea pig, the little ones. They have farm of guinea pigs. That is a traditional dish. So when I went there once, and we were in a very typical restaurant, and there was a Brazilian priest with me. We were a good group of priests that were taking a course in Peru. The Brazilian guy said, "Oh, I would like to eat the guinea pig." And I look at him and say, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes, I'm gonna eat that one." So I asked for the regular food. I think I got chicken. But when the lady was coming, the waiter was coming to give us the food, and I saw the guinea pig roasted, like this tiny thing with the tooth like out like this. I said, "No way!" I said to him, "I have to move and eat in another place. I cannot eat next to you." But yes, there are a lot of things. Like in Colombia. In Colombia, there is a big ant that have the sorry for the word, the butt of the ant is big, and they roasted it and put salt on it, and they eat it. I cannot eat that. I'm more of the regular food. But the diversity and the richness of the food is out of this world. These some of the national dishes is a short video. So again, that's food. After this, go and look for a Venezuelan restaurant that is in Durham and taste the arepas and pabellon. Any questions so far? Okay. None? Okay. Let's move forward. Another key element for us as Latinos is the family. For us, family is so important. Is I cannot really explain what family means for us because it is like we cannot live without each other. You know, is for us, family is what, let's say, put us in our context, in our environment, and from the family, we are able to navigate the context or environments where we are at. That's why our relationships are so bold and strong, that we cannot imagine us living with our family. Let me tell you, share with you from my personal experience. When we moved to US, we always had been by ourselves because we don't have family in the US. And for us, the very first 3 years were very hard because for in Latin America, in the whole Latin America, the people that you rely on is family. If I have to leave my daughter with somebody, the first person that we reach out is to the grandpas or to the aunts or uncles that can take care of our kids. And in our countries, our family lives very close by to each other, and even in a neighborhood could be in a neighborhood could be just habitated by a family, just one family, because the extended family and the nuclear family is all around. It's the parents' house, and around the parents' house is built the whole neighborhood, they say somehow. People, of course, move away or move to another state, but they create their own nuclear family, a place where all other families or extended family are gonna live close by. So for us, it's very important family, and the bonds, again, the relationships are very deep and bold. We cannot imagine living without families for so long. Even in these particular circumstances that my family and myself are living or going through, we are grateful that we are here. We are right now with my wife's mom here, and my mom is here actually visiting us to share with us this time while we are here. So, and we are going later. We are going to cook all together. That's a traditional thing in our families on weekends. At least here in Venezuela, we gather on weekends and we made a meal together. Most of the time it's lunch. We are gonna do a very traditional soup here, and they're gonna come the extended family, the cousins, and everyone is going to come up here in the mountain to share with us. So it's very, very, very important family for us. In the family, we learn religion. In the family, we learn the respect for elders. We learn hospitality. We learn how to help each other. That's essential for us in our life. So, and as you know, in Latin America, the widely religion is Catholicism. So, and it plays a very important role in our faith formation. So how our families are structured as well. We have as well the big celebrations and festivals that are known across the Latin America, and often these celebrations and festivals are connected with the religious part of that. I can assure you that all the big festivals that we have and celebrations across Latin America are linked with religion. Sometimes it looks like a syncretism. I can say that res, res, yes, with awareness. But if we look beyond that, we can see how it is connected with life, family, let's say somehow politics and religion. And it's a mixture of everything that reflects our history from the colonization, since of our shared history with African Americans and indigenous. All of that reflects who we are, those big festivals. Any questions so far here? Okay. Let's do this small video about celebrations and cultural celebrations and festivals.
Latin America, a land where culture, tradition, and passion come together in the most vibrant celebrations you'll ever experience. Today, we're diving into 5 unforgettable festivals that will ignite your senses, connect you with history, and fill your heart with joy. Whether you're a lover of music, food, dance, or simply curious about different cultures, these events are guaranteed to inspire your next adventure. So, let's get started. 1. Carnaval de Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Our first stop takes us to Brazil, where the Carnaval de Rio de Janeiro lights up the city every February. Imagine the streets filled with the rhythm of samba, dazzling costumes, and floats that defy imagination. For 5 days, Rio becomes the world's biggest party, and you can feel the heartbeat of Brazil in every corner. Why should you go? Because Carnival is more than a festival, it's a celebration of life. The energy is infectious, the people are welcoming, and for those few days, it feels like the entire world is dancing alongside you. Whether you join the lively street parties or witness the epic samba parades, you'll leave Rio with unforgettable memories and a heart full of joy. If you crave excitement, music, and pure celebration, this is the festival for you. 2. Dia de los Muertos, Mexico. Next, we head to Mexico for one of the most emotionally powerful festivals in the world, Dia de los Muertos, celebrated on November 1st and 2nd. This is a time when families come together to honor their loved ones who have passed, building beautiful altars with marigolds, candles, and offerings. But despite its focus on death, this festival is full of life, color, and love. Why should you go? Because there's something deeply moving about how Mexicans celebrate life and death. Walking through the streets, filled with vibrant art, colorful skeletons, and candlelit cemeteries, you'll experience a connection to culture and family that is truly unique. It's a reminder that love transcends time, and there's beauty in honoring our ancestors. If you're looking for a cultural experience that touches the soul, Dia de los Muertos is a must. 3. Feria de Cali, Colombia. Now we turn to the rhythm of Cali, Colombia, the salsa capital of the world, where every December the streets explode with music during the Feria de Cali. This festival is a week-long celebration of salsa music, featuring dance competitions, massive parades, and concerts that will keep you moving until sunrise. Why should you go? Because there's no better place to immerse yourself in the heart-pounding rhythm of salsa. In Cali, music is a way of life, and during the feria, everyone is invited to join the party. The energy is electric, the dancers are incredible, and whether you know the steps or not, you'll be swept away by the joy and passion that fill the air. For those who love dance and live music, the Feria de Cali will make your heart race and your feet move. 4. Inti Raymi, Peru. Travel with us now to the ancient city of Cusco, Peru, where every June 24th, the Inti Raymi festival brings history to life. Known as the Festival of the Sun, this Incan celebration marks the winter solstice and honors Inti, the sun god. Thousands of performers dressed in traditional costumes reenact ancient rituals in the shadow of the majestic Andes. Why should you go? Because Inti Raymi is like stepping into the past. You can feel the spiritual energy as the ceremonies unfold. Surrounded by the breathtaking landscape of Cusco, the festival connects you to the deep roots of Andean culture, and watching the vivid colors, dances, and sounds of ancient Incan traditions come alive is an awe-inspiring experience. If you're drawn to history, mysticism, and culture, Inti Raymi will take you on an unforgettable journey. Latin America is more than just beautiful landscapes. It's a continent of celebration, passion, and deep cultural roots. These festivals invite you to experience the heart and soul of each country, connecting you with traditions that have been passed down for generations. So, are you ready to dance, to celebrate life, and to immerse yourself in the vibrant spirit of Latin America? Pack your bags, because your next adventure is waiting. Latin America.
Any questions so far?
Well, Franklin, we're talking with Father Medina and IBP, and we're thinking about we did Pentecost together, which made a lot of sense, and we're thinking about our next joint service being All Saints, which is where it's Dia de los Muertos, and with the Coco, maybe not, but you can bring pictures of relatives who passed away, and they create an altar space, and we're going to be exposed to more traditions together. So anyway, I just thought this was I think it would be really enlightening and expansive for us in our work, just like Pentecost was.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful, beautiful celebration. Let me tell you, we in Venezuela as well, we celebrate that, not in the magnitude that Mexicans do, but we have Dia de los Muertos in Venezuela, and we build up our altars as well. We go to the service, and it's a way, those in Venezuela culture and in Mexican culture as well, we share what our ancestors did, and one of the things that we bring up all of the time is, if we want to honor the memory of those who have been gone before us, the best way to honor them is, besides this celebration, is to imitate all the good that they have done, that they did in the past. So that's the best way to honor them. They do what they did good and best in their life. That's the best way to honor them. And it is beautiful. That celebration is beautiful. And keep us all connected with our history from our ancestors, and let us always keep in mind where we came from and where we are going to as believers as well. I was about to say something else, but I forgot. Let me finish here. There are, I think 2 more slides. So another thing in our culture is, as I was saying at the beginning, is the mix of indigenous cultures with the Spanish and Portuguese colonization, as well African descendants, Asians, and other European influences have gave form to our society. It's pretty common, and I know that I haven't had that experience in the US, but here in Latin America, you can find like clubs from these different ethnic groups. There is the China club, the Italian club, the Portuguese club. I mean, it's like cultural centers for those for the descendant families of these different ethnic groups that gather there as well to celebrate their roots. Basically, there is the indigenous club as well, where people go and celebrate what their roots and their history. Another thing is our values and belief. We are very matriarchal society. For us, moms are very important. For us, moms are the center of our life. And that's why, let's say, the figure of Mary in our society, Latino society, is very important because it reflects, as I shared once with some of you in St. Luke's, it reflects the motherhood of God in our life, as it is expressed in the prophet Isaiah. It is this tenderness and this warm feeling from God, because in the scripture, when God is describing the love of to Israel, or to the all peoples and nation, the prophet describes it as the feelings of a mom that is pregnant. That's the feeling that the God's feeling for us is a womb that is giving a birth that holds life. And that's why for us, mothers, and the figure of Mary is very important for us. That is central for us. It reflects the love of God in our lives. And as well as the machismo and the maleness is very important. But we know. Let me just move forward a little bit here. Okay, we know that even though maleness or men are the head of the house, we know who runs the house. Our moms, not us. We don't run the house. Moms run the houses and the traditions and the gatherings and the food and everything. Not us. We can think and we can say to ourselves, men, we are the head of the house. We are, who command here. But at the end, we know that we are not. So that would be the second session for today. Any questions, any concerns, or anything?
Well, Frank, I think it's so helpful, especially understanding the incredible mosaic of all the different cultures, the complexity, but then all that ties them together. I think sometimes it's just when you're not exposed to this kind of information and cultures and complexity, I just think it's so easy to have just a superficial understanding of immigrants, Latino immigrants in the United States. And I just feel like this, one of the things, when we had our joint vestry meeting with IBP, and we ate together, and we did a St. Lucar IBP sitting next to each other that you facilitated, and we just started telling each other stories. It was just so humanizing, and it went from IBP as like, we are helping a church that needs a building, to really that beautiful complexity of friendship and relationship. And once you get that complexity, it takes it out of a category of helping someone in need to a loved one that you care about. And I think this kind of information, Franklin, really brings more and more nuance that begins to shift our paradigm. And I'm just really grateful for it. So thank you so much.
You are welcome. I think we have a lot to learn from each other. I think that's beautiful. And again, what are you doing is just, I know this not just meaningful for EBP, as a congregation that you are sharing with them and hosting them, but I've been sharing that you have been the first congregation taking this course, and then there are other 2 congregations in line to take the course as well. So they have been encouraged by your steps as well, of welcoming and working together and serving together with El Buen Pastor. Those first 2 sessions are giving us a widely perspective of things. As we move forward in the next 3 sessions, we're going to see more local in our diocese with our Latino communities. So you are going to experience or have a taste of all the congregations that we have in North Carolina as well. And you can experience the differences, even though most of them are Mexican. I mean, our folks there from Mexico. Each community is so different that you are going to be just shocked because they come from different states from Mexico. they bring to their congregations a different flavor to celebrate faith and life. And you're going to witness that later. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Franklin.
Awesome. That's amazing. And thank you for sharing that with those that are not there, because I've been listening from people that weren't there last week and have watched the recording and see the slides, and they are very grateful for the opportunity as well.
Thank you, Franklin. Such a gift to be
Thank
with
you so much.
See you next week.
Take care. God bless you all.
Bye, brother.